no matter how much tempted you are to lose your weight as fast as you can, you should not do these things to lose weight, because they will do much more harm than good to your body. The first thing on the list is laxatives. Laxatives are these chemicals that doctors use to treat constipation, and using of laxatives excessively can actually lead to hypertension. We as doctors, we find out if the drug is actually helpful and if the benefits are greater than the side effects. And if they actually are, we use that drug. And in case of using laxative for weight loss, we do not recommend that. Actually, what it does is, it makes you lose a lot of water weight. These electrolytes are actually flowing out of your body from your gut because your gut does not have enough time to uptake them. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, chloride, calcium, phosphorus. You are losing these electrolytes, and what is following them is water. Now, keep in mind that total body water is actually 60 to 70% of body weight for male and about 50 to 60% of their total body weight for a female. And losing this precious water will actually be really detrimental to your health. Now, if you are taking antihypertensive drugs, for example, losartan, or any other drugs that are diuretics, that are actually causing you to urinate a lot, taking laxatives on top of that could actually get you into a really bad state, even into a coma. You can actually also feel stomachache when you're using laxatives, and that is because of the quick gastric emptying. You feel like someone is holding, or your stomach is actually caving in. So the next thing on the list is drugs. Now, thyroxine and many other drugs are abused for weight loss. Correct use is actually going to a doctor, getting a prescription, weighing out the benefits and the side effects. But abusing those drugs to lose weight is actually hearing from a friend or a co-worker telling you how he lost weight using this wonderful magical drug, and you doing the same for your body, not thinking that this substance could actually be poisonous to your body. Now, thyroxine is an example of that specific poison. There is something called the thyroid storm, when excess thyroid hormones build up and they are released into the blood, causing increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, even putting your body into a hyperthermic state where your total body metabolism increases and your body temperature also increases. You can have fits, you can have convulsions, and that's very dangerous. The other thing that's similar to what thyroxine does is caffeine and amphetamine derivatives. Amphetamine derivatives are actually given to people that have ADHD. ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, when you cannot focus on one task that is given to you, and now you are focusing. But the side effect is weight loss, and some people take amphetamine derivatives for their side effect, which is weight loss, not knowing that there are many other side effects, including insomnia, hypertension, hyperthermia, and many disastrous conditions. Because now when you taper off these amphetamine derivatives, you will have withdrawal effects, you will actually have vomiting, you will have complete loss of appetite, and sometimes even paranoia, anxiety, and agitation. And these things are not worth. Orlistat is another drug that actually decreases your fat absorption. In the intestine, you have these enzymes that are released from the pancreas into the duodenum, and these enzymes like lipase, pancreatic lipase, and colipase, these and the bile, they help digest your fat and absorb that fat. If you're not digesting the fat, for example, you're taking an orlistat, which is an inhibitor of these enzymes, you will actually defecate all of the fat that you intake. Now, this can be dangerous because this can cause steatorrhea, and steatorrhea is a condition when your body is not absorbing the fat that can lead to essential fatty acid deficiencies. Even vitamin deficiencies like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. And you can have side effects like loss of libido or night blindness and many other. For example, excessive bleeding if you are an elderly that does not have enough vitamin K, and especially if you are on warfarin. Caffeine is safe when it is taken under 200 milligrams and before at least 6 to 8 hours before you sleep. But most of these weight loss CNS stimulants or these drugs have about 6 to 800 milligrams of caffeine that you'll be taking in per day. That is not safe for your kidneys. That is not good for your heart because it is putting that added strain to your heart. I do not recommend use of caffeine, taurine, or many other CNS stimulants because the side effects are much more greater. The third thing is starvation. What your brain actually does is it controls the appetite through your hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is a part of your brain. It has these hormones that can be anorexigenic. That means they can decrease your appetite or they can increase your appetite. So the anterior medial or the ventromedial part of the hypothalamus is actually made of anorexigenic neurons. These neurons actually decrease your appetite. Leptin is actually released from the adipocytes and it decreases your appetite. On the other hand, ghrelin actually increases your appetite. What you are doing by not taking food or just going on a starvation diet is actually disturbing the balance of leptin and ghrelin and actually disturbing the neuropeptides in your brain and the hypothalamus control of starvation. You might lose some weight on starvation, but in the long run, you will actually end up gaining much more weight because once you start eating, you will have that voracious appetite when you will not be able to control your appetite and you will be eating many calories. Starvation can actually also lead to a decrease in white blood cell count, leading to opportunistic infections, low libido, and low basal metabolic rate. Low basal metabolic rate will eventually cause weight gain because now you will not be burning many calories. So the fourth thing on the list is juicing or taking in only liquid diets. The science behind this is that if you take only liquid diets or if you only take fruit juices, you might actually decrease the size of your stomach and you might end up having more satiety by eating less food. But what you actually do not take into consideration is that you are not taking fiber. This diet is predominantly low in fiber, high in sugar, so that sugar will actually cause more insulin release. It will cause more hunger pangs. Moreover, because you're drinking so much fluid, you will be urinating a lot. Because of that excessive urination, you will also be losing electrolytes. Many of these juices are low in sodium and high in potassium, so you might be losing all of that sodium, and that's not good for your body. So the fifth thing on the list is vomiting or purging or self-induced vomiting. There's a disease called bulimia nervosa where many patients, they take a lot of fatty food, induce vomiting, go to the washroom, take out all of what they've eaten. Losing all of this food as vomit can actually be really detrimental to your blood pH. Now your blood has a normal pH of about 7.35 to 7.45. That is slightly alkaline. But after you have a meal, you actually increase your alkalinity in your blood. That's called the postprandial alkaline tide. But if you vomit, you are actually emptying all of the gastric contents and your gastric acid, you are losing it. And now what you have inside your body is mostly alkaline. So vomiting can actually increase your blood pH to dangerous levels. And that is not good for you. Vomiting can also cause choking. It can also lead to pneumonia because if you vomit and suddenly some of your food, it actually goes into the trachea instead of going outside or instead of going into the esophagus. Or during self-inducing, you might put some particles of food into your trachea. It can actually block your air passageway and you might choke. And pneumonia can occur because when you have these food particles in your lungs are actually trying to digest or trying to break down by putting those lysozymes onto the food particles. But what they are actually damaging is your lungs itself, and that can lead to aspiration pneumonia. And aspiration pneumonia is really deadly, especially in children. The sixth, the last thing, and the most important thing on the list is herbal tea or these magical weight loss teas. The truth is that no matter how many of these Instagram influencers or these Instagram models, they tell you about these magical teas or these gummy bears that you'll eat and then you'll start losing weight. These Instagram models, they are using these companies as an additional income source. This audience, especially younger girls, teenage girls, they take these products thinking that they can cause magical weight loss, but they do not. These are money-making schemes, inefficient ways to lose weight. These are not sustainable. Many of them are not approved by the FDA. And many have additive chemicals that are not disclosed on the packaging. These Instagram influencers, they take home this paycheck while you are taking home these harmful chemicals that are disrupting your hormonal balances. What you will end up doing is damage your endocrine system, leading to actually increased appetite and increased weight gain. And you get into the vicious cycle of losing weight really quickly and then gaining it all back, even some additional pounds, and then using that same herbal tea again. So you see there's a vicious cycle that's happening. Taking your dollars, putting them into the Instagram influencers' pockets, taking them into these companies. Always consult your doctor before changing your diet or taking in something new. Doctors are there to help, and they will balance out the harms and the benefits. Thank you so much. If you found it helpful, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel. I have many more interesting videos coming up, and I have posted much on weight loss, keto diets, and debusting all these myths that are around fat loss and losing belly weight.